Okay, my name is Rob Smoke. I've been older about 30 years. I've been homeless the last 3 years and a little bit before that on another occasion. And I've never seen a testimony more stunning than the testimony that was provided by the woman representing the city and county of Denver. Anyone in this room who believes that the police are bringing services when they contact individuals who are sleeping outdoor, I mean, just, and I'll send an open invitation to everyone here who wants to travel with me this morning, this coming morning, say 4 or 5 a.m., and witness the look of fear on the faces of people we might run into in an alley in downtown Denver, and then tell me that the police are there to bring services. I mean, I just find it outrageous. I was a little bit encouraged to hear Mayor Hancock say that they were going to find housing for 250 chronically homeless individuals. How do you define chronic? Is it chronic if you have sativa and not if you're using indica? Do you want to have those same people in the same building? I'm trying to make a joke out of it, but I felt pretty chronically homeless after 10 days. And, if I got on that list, I don't know when I would be housed, but the problem here is that it's discriminatory at its core, an urban camping ban. People who are most likely, who are exponentially more likely to be caught homeless are people with mental health disabilities, with other types of disabilities, people who are also potentially economic refugees in this city and other cities across Colorado. And regardless of what the cities would be doing, what they say they're extending to people, it would not justify the criminalization that's been going on. And I could give you personal stories that are very direct, but in point of fact, I had a homeless cousin who was about my age, I was close to at one time in my life, died by the side of a road in Maryland in 2013. So the experience is different from just statistics. And I ask you to support 1191 and help at least get a real discussion happening.
Thank you,
this year on the floor of the House. Thank you.
We have a question for you, Representative Lefsat.
You were trying to receive services but were unable, but whatever you think would be pertinent to the conversation and pertinent to this bill in our consideration.
Well, I would just say, first of all, the experiences the experiences I have daily, I'm on the street quite a bit in Boulder, and to see people, say a guy without socks who's talking to himself on a bench, and what do? On a really lucky day, I might have an extra pair of socks on me, but somebody who's going around barefoot. My personal experience, just on this past Sunday, I was sitting in Union Station, really just with a notebook. I like to travel as light as possible. And I closed my eyes I was waiting for the bus to Boulder. I was closed my eyes for 3 minutes, I would say about 3 minutes. And a cop came up and tapped me on the shoulder and said, sleeping is not allowed in Union Station, so, And I was meditating. I wasn't even sleeping. I had my eyes closed. So no, meditation is part of a pretty standard religious, spiritual practice for millions of people. But because he's worried that I might be a homeless guy trying to sleep in Union Station, he's going to tap me on the shoulder. And then he surveilled me afterwards. And, those are pretty minor episodes. If we sat down and talked, I could give you a lot more. But, I think overall, the criminalization of the homeless is just indicative, it's emblematic of really serious problems that we have in our society, and it legitimizes prejudice to have these laws on the books, and it promotes a toxic social environment. And there's no way that the money that the city of Denver is saying that it spends is making that toxic social environment any better or healthier for anyone, homeless or not.
Thank you. Further questions? Representative Smith.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'm just curious, if you were at the police station and you picked any random 10 people and they stood against the wall and you looked them in the eyes and you thought really hard about it, would you be able to tell me which ones own their home and which ones rent their home and which ones don't have any property, just by looking at them?
Mr. Smoke?
Well, I'm not sure the point of your question, but I would say, I can make random guesses that might turn out to be pretty good. But there are a lot of people. I did a project, actually, a photo project with a woman in Boulder where we went out and we interviewed people and tried to find people who looked homeless and weren't, and there are quite a few in Boulder. So.
It's trying to say you should not be discriminated against on the basis of whether or not you own a home, or I'm paraphrasing, but how is that even enforceable? If a policeman is looking around and unless he goes rifling through your property deeds, how does he know? There's no way to really enforce and say, well, these people should be protected because they're homeless, whereas all these other people, they may or may not own homes. Should this discrimination piece be clarified in some way to let the policeman do his job instead of guessing?
Well, I would say this. I've certainly.
Let the bill sponsor respond.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, Mr. Smoke.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, Representative Klingensmith, for that question. We do have an amendment that strikes out that language.
Okay. I just wanted to say I served on the Human Relations Commission for the City of Boulder for 5 years, and I do have great respect for the work that people do in the legislative bodies here
We appreciate
in
it.
Colorado. Thank you.
Representative Melton, who would you like to bring up?